Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's hard to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, champion. The game is in trouble. I've been in my depth for the piece of the puzzle. I got it for real. Still keep me going. I wake up and hustle. You won't see me buckle. I've been in the field. Man of the town. You been in your fields. I'm adjusting this crown. Call me your majesty. Either that or your tragedy. We shutting everything down. I've been hot like somebody put a candle on them. Off top, I don't really stand opponents. This mine. The moment is run out and start a bunch of pandemonium. More game, I got some. The skill is bar one. Y'all done. The game in the coffin. Referee screen recipes.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to One Ass Cheek and Three Toes. I'm your host, Brian B. Strilla-Arndt. And to my left of me, he's going to be center stage in just a moment, is Chris Peeble. He's going to be talking about the MLB today. And along with me is my other homie, the Mad Yinser, Pittsburgh Pirate fan. And right now we got the Tigers going on. Before we start off the show, I just want to run down what happened yesterday with the Tigers. The Tigers beat the New York Yankees 5-0 off of 4 solo homers against Yankees pitching. They turned into the Bronx Bombers in that game, it looks like. Carlos Carrasco gave up 3 of the 4 homers in his replacement in the 5th inning. Yankees pitcher Ryan Yarbrough gave up the other one. Spencer Torkelson, Zach McKinstry, Dylan Dinger, and Kerry Carpenter all had the home runs. Tigers pitcher Tariq Skubal went 6 innings pitched and gave up 4 hits and struck out 6. Lowering his ERA from 5.91 to 3.78. So he's back up to being the Scoobs, almost to being the Scoobs that we're used to. And in the Hunter came in there, or Herter came in there and picked up his second save. Tigers on a 5-game winning streak, lead the AL Central with a 7-4 record at this moment. That's awesome. Keep it up, Tigers. Cardinals beat the Pirates 5-3 last night, and the Blue Jays beat the Bo Sox 6-1. So sorry about that, guys. You know,
you had to remind me about last night, huh? You had to remind me.
What's up, Ricky? How you doing there, brother?
I was in a good mood until you had to say the Pirates score.
So I'm going to be running the banner down here about the Tigers are playing right now. They're in the 4th, actually. They're in mid-4th. So let me go ahead and change that. I'm going to bring Chris on here so he can go ahead and give us some baseball stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Chris?
Hey, how's it going? How you been, man? I watched you a few other shows. I was kind of like in and looking at them too. So, I mean, hopefully you guys have been doing good. I mean, nice to see you there, man. Pirates fan. Missed talking to you from the last time, but yeah, I mean, if we want to go into the Detroit baseball topics, if you want to, you can throw up whatever you want. Don't bother me.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I know you got some topics that you wanted to share today. Let's see what we got going on. Let me bring you up here.
I mean,
what is the Tigers' record?
7-4. I just told you, man. You don't pay attention.
7-4. Bad memory. Man. Bad memory. My memory ain't so good.
Like
I'm old, man.
One of your first topics today, Chris, has how has Spencer Torkelson responded to expectations so far this year?
Yeah, that's a big one. And I'm glad I can talk about this because I'm a bigger man for this one because last year and the year prior I wasn't big on him. Like he had a good that first year. They brought him up too early, as I had told everybody back in the day, and he ended up batting like 190 and had to be sent back down in his first season. Second year, he had a resurgence. He had 30 home runs, and he was looking really good. And and then he had a failed, miserable season, and he didn't do well. So this was his year. Like this was it. This was the end of the road for him if he could not respond. And it wasn't looking good even towards the end of last season. He had a little bit of a good season towards the end, but it wasn't great. So it was like he needed to get out of his own head. He needed to put his head down and make corrections every single game, every single week, because that's what good players do. You don't just sit and hope that nobody adjusts, or you wait until it's too late to readjust. You really have to be doing it every single day. And so he has come out on fire, and he has been doing really good. I'm very impressed with his decision making. And I don't even think there's a question now, but a bunch of us have talked about him like taking full-time duties at first base, because really, to be honest, Cole Keith, he's had a few mishaps at first base, and he's not hitting that great. So, I mean, Torkelson, I think he is, if he can keep this up, and I think he will, because he's changed his swing, he's changed his approach. I mean, his mind is set. It's when he has I will be looking for when he has a couple of days where he's not doing well, like a slump, or how is he going to come back out of a slump? Like, if he gets into a slump and he stays in that rut, we may have a problem again.
Well, you know what I was looking at and you bring up a good point. Torkelson's been playing he's been playing out of his mind since he's come back, starting the season. He had one game where he had 3 strikeouts, but he made some incredible plays at first base. So that's what I'm looking for with Torkelson. Don't be down about what your performance is at the plate. If you're doing good out in the field, don't make any mistakes, and you make a play that causes a run not to score or something like that. That's what I want to see from him too. I don't want him, because I think that's what happened to him last year. He made a lot of plays when he was down in the bat. It led on to his fielding, and his fielding sucked a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, he's showing me, and he just got speaking of Torkelson, he just got a single. So he's been doing excellent this year. I think he's got 3 home runs now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So out the gate, he didn't have very many home runs. And so, but I was happy that he was just getting base hits. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, no, he's a power hitter. Well, yeah, he is. But I would rather have a guy start the season getting base hits, singles and doubles. Cool. That's what because guess what? Then you get in rhythm, and the home runs will come, because eventually you will get that sweet spot hit. Not only that, the team has done this a lot too as well. But their approach to the game, their eye on the ball, they have drawn a lot of walks. They have been real, and that's the thing. If you're not getting a base hit, putting the ball in play, if you're getting on base via walk and you're not striking out, that's great. I will take him going 0-1 with a strikeout and 3 walks than him striking out 3 times. You're still getting on base. That's what we need. You need that eye. Don't swing at everything. And he has done that. He is really, I mean, his critics are silent. Like, and I don't blame you. I'm kind of one of them, because I didn't think he was going to bounce back this good. So I still have a wait. I always wait till about 25, 30 games into the season to evaluate how players are doing. Right now that's
fair.
He's doing really good.
Up.
Yep.
And on that tip, how about Javier Baez's resurgence? True or fool's gold?
Yeah, that is a topic that it's going to be tough to figure out. As long as everybody else around him plays well, I think he's going to play well too. I think he kind of goes with the game a little bit. Although the reason why I say that is because we don't know what he is when we're playing really, really well on a regular basis, because he wasn't in the lineup when we had that like miracle comeback last year. He was hurt. So we don't know if he would have been good down the stretch. Do I still like the signing of Javier Baez? No, absolutely do not like it. I absolutely
both,
not.
buddy.
I mean, it is what it is. You're paying a guy $25 million a year. I mean, if he's going to be on the roster, then I mean, I hope he does well, and he has. He's done really well for Baez. But I think if he could stay like in this groove, I don't expect him to end the season with a 320 batting average or 300 batting average. But if he could end the season with like a 275 and supply a few home runs, because I don't expect him to ever hit the home runs he used to. I think I'm going to give him a positive nod. I'm going to say, yeah, he's doing really well, and I think he can continue this. As long as the team does well, he will do well.
Yeah, so far he has 24 at-bats, 8 hits. He's hitting .333. He's got 3 RBIs. His on-base percentage is .360. His slugging percentage is .417. And yeah, he's doing well. But Baez, you know what? I don't want to be biased on Baez, but I didn't like the signing in the first place. But at the same time, I'm not sold on him at all. I'm sold more on Torkelson than I'm sold on Baez.
Oh yeah, I mean you've got more potential, and Tork's still young in terms of where he has in his career, and hopefully he can just build upon every game that he plays. Not to mention Baez is only batting now. This is a big stat in baseball that they use a lot is OPS, and he's at a 777 OPS right now, which is literally only like 0.03 above average. The average OPS in baseball is 750. So he's just above average on his OPS. So it's probably because he's not getting enough contact, or he's not getting enough extra base hits and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll come with the season. But hey, if he gets anything, I'm happy, because last year he batted like 180. Like what was he batting last year? He batted 184 last year.
Yeah.
The year before that was 222. Before that was 238 with the Tigers. He kept getting worse every single year. All we can hope for is that he does really, really, really good.
So Brent gave a little question there. What's your favorite Tigers of all time? Or Tigers?
So you like Mickey Lolich, which is awesome. And of course, everybody likes Miguel Cabrera. But my favorite, so I followed Alan Trammell. I met him several times when I was growing up. That was my guy, because that was a guy. But my all-time favorite, I actually collect a lot of him in the back here, is Al Kaline. He was one of I've met Al Kaline. My daughter's met Al Kaline. Very nice guy. Probably one of the best signatures you'll ever find in the game. He's a consummate professional. Very nice guy. I almost had a chance to see him again, but he passed away, like I think the year after COVID or during COVID. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely Al Kaline, but Alan Trammell's right there. I like him as well.
Yeah, I think my 2 favorite Tigers, one of them is Lance Parrish. I always like Lance Parrish. I also like Miguel Cabrera a lot too. I'm taking a liking a lot to Tarek Skubal. I've really never been the pitcher guy, because I did like Jack Morris when he was here, but I never really liked the pitchers for some reason. I don't know why. Here. But yeah, Lance Parrish, of course, Miggy. Those are probably my 2 biggest favorite Tigers of all time. Like I said, Tarek is starting to rub off on me a little bit too.
And mind you, they're only my favorites because that's the time frame I knew them. Al Kaline also did commentary for the Tigers as well. Yep. So that's how I connected with him. I mean, like I said, Alan Trammell is the guy that I grew up with, watching the '84 Tigers and all that. But Al Kaline was also the voice of the Tigers for a short period of time as well, which I really liked as well. So yeah, Ty Cobb, great. Obviously, you've never met him or never heard him talk or anything like that. So those guys are infamous people, or they're in Tigers lore and stuff like that. Hank Greenberg, another great player too as well. I mean, there's a lot of guys in Tigers lore that is great, but they're not my favorites.
So what do you think about Jackson Joby's early performances?
Okay, so I won't name names, but there's somebody in our group chat that actually wanted to be sent back down to the trip to the minors.
Wow.
Because they didn't like it. So I hate to break it to people. Yeah, he's given up a few runs, but this is his first full season with the Tigers. He's a rookie this year. Last year, he only played on the playoff roster, or I think the last game of the season or something like that. So he didn't get much start, and he's coming up through a full spring. It's going to take him a while to get going and find his pitches. He's got to work with Chris Fetter and get his pitches down. I mean, he's a full-time starter in our rotation. So he's going to see guys he's going to get the same guys 2 or 3 times. So they're going to adjust to him. So he's got to learn how to do that. He's got to change his mechanics and stuff like that. He has to learn how to change every game. So, if he ends the season with like a 4 ERA and he's got a lot of home runs, so be it. Like, you got to get that season out of the way eventually. What you can't, if you send him down and then he comes back up and the same thing happens, you're never going. Pitchers are different than hitters. Yeah, you can burn their psyche, but they only get better if they pitch at the major league level. Batters, on the other hand, when they start failing, they get into their own heads, and it's a lot different. Pitchers are not the same. They're just a little different, and so you want to keep a pitcher in and make him work his mechanics out. I mean, if all of a sudden he's lasting 1 or 2 innings and he's giving up 5-6 runs, okay, well, maybe then we have a cause for concern. But if you're pitching 4 or 5 innings and you're giving up 3 or 4 runs, okay, I can still deal with that. Because shoot, even Kent Maeda can't get through 3 or 4 innings without giving 4 or 5 runs. So
that's another guy.
Yeah, but he'll be there, but he isn't doing that good this year. He is definitely our 5th pitcher. Like he is definitely that. But that's what you get when you have a rookie.
Right. I mean, he's gonna have some of those games where he has outstanding performance, but most of them are gonna be pretty not inspiring. That's for sure. I mean, when they put him in the game last year in the end of the season and in the playoffs, I was like, okay, you really think that much of this guy to stick him in these situations? Yeah. But he did. I mean, he had a basically wavy. I mean, he was good, and then he was not great. Yeah.
What you expect out of a rookie when he's playing a few innings? That's the way it is. I mean, that's fine. Full-blown season, I want to see what he does. He's going to have some games where he throws some gems, and you're going to be like, that's what we're looking for. And then he'll the next game he goes out there, he'll give up 5 runs, and you're just going to be like, okay, well, that's not what we need. But you got to get those out of the way. You got to get that. You got to be able to face these professional batters, because the difference between pitching in the minors and pitching in the majors, it's the same thing with batting. When you go down to the minors and you're pitching, these guys are not major league quality. Some of them are onesies and twosies on each team, and you're striking out guys with basic pitches. When you're in the majors, you have to work on your eye location for your pitch. So when you could throw 2 fastballs, but you got to make sure you're changing the eye location, because if you're throwing in the same area, the batter's going to pick up on the timing and the placement just like that. If you got to be able to move the pitches around, no matter what speed you're throwing them and how you're throwing them, you got to change that eye location.
Speaking of pitchers, Casey Mize, is this a bounce back year for him?
I absolutely think so far he's looking really good. He's given us no reason to think he can't do it. I mean, he must be legitimately still have been hurt last year, because he is ringing guys up. He is looking good. He's not throwing 100 miles an hour. He's getting up to the 94, 95 mile an hour, but his location on his pitches are really, really good. Once again, changing eye location, making sure that the batter's not seeing the same pitch in the same location back-to-back pitches. He's moving it all around the plate. He's looking really, really good. I like the way he's pitched so far, and I think he's gonna be. I want to say that he's going to be the most improved player. He's going to be neck and neck with the most improved player on the roster, with Torkelson.
Yeah, he right now he's 2-0 with a 77 ERA.
Yeah, he is
one of the top pitchers in the league right now.
Yep, he is looking really, really good right now. I'm happy for him because that's what we were expecting when we drafted him in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see what else we got for you today.
Yeah.
But now, speaking of Maeda, do we have a closer problem?
So one of our fellow guys, I'm on a different podcast that we do. He's been wanting a closer for ever. He wanted one at the end of last year. He wanted one going in the off season. There's a couple of guys that were out there that were available that we were naming. I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. I think one of them took a good, like a kind of a big contract. He's one of the top closers in the National League, I think. But he was on his list. I don't know why we just didn't go out and get a closer. I mean, it's hard to make a closer in baseball. It's very hard to find one because everybody wants to be a starter. And then what happens is you end up being a middle reliever if you can't do that. You need a fastball and an assortment of pitches. And that works if you got a guy that can't last like 2 or 3 innings as a starter. You put him in as a closer, and he has a fastball, and maybe he's got a good splitter or a sinker. He's got a couple of out pitches that he can use, so he can throw 100+ miles an hour as a closer, and he only has to get 3 batters out. That's it, and he can last 1, maybe 2 innings. So, but we don't have that guy on our roster yet. He might be
who's our best? Who's our best closer? You think?
Who? That. Flip a coin.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we don't. That's why we have a closer problem. I mean, we don't have a guy to just like we call him in, and the other team is like, oh, damn. Like now, we were hoping that he had already pitched too much, and we don't have any guy like that. There's not one single guy. I like Holton. I think he does a pretty good job, but he's more of our jack of all trades. He can come in and start if he has to. He can play. He can pitch 3 innings in the middle. He can come in and close, does well, but he's like our utility guy that is, when we call upon him, we know we're not worried. It's rough to, I mean, last night's game, our guy did pretty well. So, I mean, what was it?
Herter was the one that got us he's got 2 saves this season.
Yeah, I mean, Herter might be the guy. He pitched 3 innings and he didn't get any hits. And if this was like one of the worst teams in baseball, I would say, well, yeah, let's hold that thought. But he played the Yankees. I mean, he pitched 3 innings, which means he went against almost their entire lineup and only allowed 1 walk and 3 hits to close out the game. That might
3 strikeouts.
Yeah. Oh, 3 Ks, not 3. I'm sorry, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Yeah.
Yep.
So that might be our closer.
So do you think that maybe if we have a pretty good record, if we're like either first, second, or third in our division, and we're playing really well, do you think that they trade for one?
See, the thing is I don't trust Chris Ilitch, man. He's such a tightwad, man. He doesn't want to spend any money. That's the problem. And this is both the Wings and the Tigers. So I don't. I mean, there's teams that spend more money than Chris Ilitch does between both Tigers and Red Wings put together. Like, he just doesn't want. I know he wants to go through the draft, and so far his theory is working. And that's why he won't spend any money, because he says, look, see, it works. Until he's proven that it doesn't work, he's not going to do it. He's not. He's going to use the minor league system.
And that's the thing. It's like, I see this a lot in general. I think this is like a thing that's going on with any sport venue. Is like if the general manager feels that, oh, we're winning, so I'm not going to twerk anything or adjust anything to make us, even better or keep us on a winning streak. I'm just going to keep what we have because it's working, and they don't want to do anything different. So,
and the funny thing is, he's going to have to pretty soon, because when Wenzel Perez comes back, where are you going to put him? Because everybody's working just fine. Wenzel Perez comes back. Parker Meadows, when he comes back, my 5-tool star player that I really want, wish he would have never gotten hurt. Like, where are you going to put him? Alex Cobb, the pitcher you signed for $15 million that did not want to even be on the team until he got a paycheck, got hurt immediately, was supposed to be a starter. Where are you going to put him at? He's an AARP member. He's like 37 years old. Like, what are you going to do with him? You've got, I think there's like 2 other players that I'm not thinking of right now that, Gleyber Torres. He's going to come back. I mean, he's an upgrade to what we have at second base, but they've all been performing well. Like, it's going to be very difficult to start moving people around because these guys are going to get healthy. Then what are you going to do? I don't know what to tell you. So then what you're going to end up doing is you're going to be costing chemistry, because now you've got to move people around, and we've been doing good. I mean, we've taken 2 from the Yankees so far. I mean, that's pretty damn good. And we were okay against the Dodgers. We didn't do great, but we held sort of our own. And we're playing great against the Yankees. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do when these injured players come back.
Yeah, which leads us to our 5-game winning streak that we have going on. Well, I believe that I think what we're doing in this 5-game, in my opinion, we're doing everything that you're supposed to do in a 5-game race. Pitching is pretty damn good, and batting is timely. I mean, if you hit 4 home runs against the Yankees and don't allow them to have any home runs like they did last night, I mean, what can I say? And I don't think what's his damn name? Carrasco is the greatest pitcher they have either. I think is that the 5th-day rotation that they got going on with them? I think he's the 5th rotation player.
Probably.
Pitcher. Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, today we're pitching against our number 2 pitcher.
Yeah.
So we're probably pitching against their number 2 as well, because they usually line them up like the best on best, and it usually, not all the time, but like usually they're pitching against the same pitcher order that we're pitching against. So he would be their second pitcher today, if that's who you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, Fried is their second pitcher. So Fried is their second pitcher, the second best pitcher.
Well, so
that's today. That's who's pitching today is Fried.
Yeah, so that would be considered their second pitcher best, I guess, because Jack Flaherty is our second guy. Mm-hmm. So
that's their rotation. I think it also goes by rotation too. I mean, if they have like a four-man rotation instead of a 5, that could be something that's. I mean, some teams use a four pitcher rotation, some use a 5.
So
I've noticed that
if you're using a 4-pitcher rotation, your 5th day is a bullpen session. So they bring in. So it's always a 5-day rotation of pitchers. So if on your 5th day you don't have a starter, you'll use a guy from the bullpen for 3, and then another guy for the bullpen for 3, then bring in another reliever. So it's kind of like what we did last year, only when we had it was like Tariq Skubal, one other guy, and then we had 3 bullpen sessions because we didn't have nobody else to start because they were all injured. So that's what people use. They use that if they don't have a 5th starter, they'll use a bullpen session where they'll use like 3 or 4 bullpen guys to play the game. And it's because you got to stay in that 5-day rotation. I mean, it's already bad enough. Pitchers only last till the 5 2/3 innings to get the win, maybe 6 if they're lucky. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But so are you attributing to this 5-game winning streak to the same thing I'm pretty much attributing to? Good pitching and good hitting, timely hitting, I should say.
Yes, absolutely. The only thing we still have problems with is runners in scoring position. We're still not doing very well with runners in scoring position. The timely hitting is like when we need a run, we can get it. But my issue is when you go against these better pitchers and you only get like 3 opportunities the whole game. You got a guy on second base in the 2nd inning and you don't get him in. And then you got another guy on 2nd and 3rd in like the 5th or 6th inning. You can't get him in. And that's it. That's all you got. That was your opportunities. Those are the runners in scoring positions that we have to do. We have to get good at. We have to get really we have to get really good at getting those guys in, because when you play against good pitching team and good hitting teams, you're not going to get the opportunities, and you need to get those guys in. But as far as the timely hitting, I like that. I like the use of words for that, because if we need a run, we can get it in, but it's going to take a lot of people to get on base to do that. That's the thing. So yeah, I mean, we're still not really good with runners in scoring position, so we need to fix that. But our pitching is doing great. I mean, in the 5-game win streak, we've only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've only allowed over 3 runs once.
Yeah. I mean, the pitching's been pretty solid. And School picked up his first win yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good. And he looked like the Scooble that we're going to be used to, that we're used to seeing. So that was good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the injury news, again, it's like the injury bug is just destroying his lineup. The Tigers place catcher Jake Rogers on a 10-day IL with an oblique tightness in his left side, I think it is. And offensive or outfielder Manuel Margot placed on a 10-day IL with a knee inflammatory. It's like, wow, man, we got to replace the center field guy or the outfield guys is hurt now too. And Jake, and I like Jake Rogers. I think he's a capable catcher, and he's definitely really good on a hitting thing. So I mean, I was like, dude, can we catch a break?
Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, Manuel Margot was we signed him to replace Parker Meadows, or a position in the outfield, because Parker Meadows and Winslow Perez is gone. So now this guy, it was the same thing with Alex Cobb. When we signed him, he was supposed to be a starter, but then he got hurt like 2 days into the signing. So yeah, we can't catch a break. It would have been nice that, like, if Margot went down and then either Winslow Perez or Parker Meadows were to come back, that'd be good timing, but that's not happening. So once again, juggling a lineup, because like right now, Dingler is playing catcher for Jake Roberts, which isn't bad because he's actually hitting pretty good. The only thing you miss with Dingler is that Jake Rogers is one of the best framing pitchers in the league, or catchers in the league. He is good at framing pitches really well. He's been having a good offense to start the season, but he's not normally. He gives you a home run threat because he can hit it, but he's not a base hitter. So you're not worried about. You're just worried about him hitting the long ball. Other than that, he's not generally a base hitter. He bats like 230. Like, that's the guy you get for him. But I like him for his defensive capabilities, not for his offense.
So welcome, Nate. Glad to see you here, brother.
What up, ladies?
Ladies, you're gonna call those ladies now? You just want to say some stuff. We were just talking about your boy Torkelson.
We were just chilling, princess.
Torkelson. Torkelson, yeah, man. Yeah, dude, he's playing. Like, I was looking at some of the young hitters right now, and I don't know how old Torkelson is, but like some of the new hitters that are really balling out this year, and Torkelson comes to mind. Of course, Wilbert Abreu for the Red Sox come to mind. I mean, Wilbert Abreu's having a hell of a year. I mean, you talk about a guy like everybody expected, Bregman to be good, Rafi to be good, but nobody and their mother saw Wilbert Abreu being one of the best hitters so far this season. He's got like 15 hits, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. Like, the guy's on a tear right now. Like, he's only 25 years old, so
that's how old Torkelson is too. He's 25 as well.
Okay, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, so two of the young hitters that nobody's usually talking about. So yeah, it's a good time to be a Red Sox or Tigers fan, because you've got a lot of hope on your team, and
yeah,
and the thing with the Tigers is that, like, I'm not worried about the Red Sox hitting. Like, you got Rafi, you've got Bregman, you've got Abreu. Like, you've got legit dudes that can hit the ball. With the Tigers, Torkelson probably, I would say, and Carpenter are probably your best 2 hitters on the team. Now you got to get Gleber back. I think Gleber would be it.
I'm holding out. Like, I always check when young guys start coming out of nowhere, but we're expected to do this. Like, Torque was expected to do this. He's a 101. He was the number 1 overall pick the year that he came into the league. So his expectations are of like what he's doing right now is what he's supposed to do. So the problem is that because he has been up and down, like drastic up and down changes. Is the fact that people are like excited because they're like, okay, so now we look like we might get what we were supposed to get. And so it's exciting. The problem is just with expectation, if he does really well this year, that means he's got to keep doing it. Yeah. And not every baseball player can do that. So I'll wait till we get to about game 30 and I'll make my assessment from there because you're only as good as how you come back from a drought. So like once you hit a little down pattern in your hitting, how well do you come back from that?
And these batters go through struggles, man. They go through slumps. It's just part of the game because there's so many damn games. I mean, look at Rafi. Rafi was 0 of 15 and the world was coming to an end because people are like, what the hell's wrong with him? We need to trade him. And then he goes 10 for 15 after that. They're going to go through slumps. It just happens.
Well, with Torkelson doesn't have much rope though. So like if he does really well for the first 15 games and then he completely falls off after that, that he's going to be gone. Like I know he's batting like insane right now. He's batting like over 300, his OPS is like over 1,000. Like, I mean, that's great for the first like 10 games of the season, but let's see what you can do once this ritual of you hitting and everything and everybody seeing you again and then pitching against you again. And all of a sudden, those pitches that you were getting before, you're not getting the same type of pitches. And now you've got to really adjust again. And that's what I'm waiting to see. Will he be able to adjust again? That's what I'm waiting for.
So what's left?
Go ahead, Nate. You're still there, Nate?
Contract like? Do y'all know how many years he has left?
Who's that?
Hear me?
Yeah, who? What contract? Whose contract?
Torkelson.
What's his contract look like?
Oh, he hasn't. So he hasn't signed a new deal yet. This is probably his year. Let me check real quick. But yeah,
Is this contract year?
It might be. It might.
He's gonna ball out if he wants to get paid.
I know, but he's got to keep it up though. It's like see his issue last year is on his off years. It's because he's in his own head. He doesn't know how to adjust. So you could come out and hit on fire, but then once it's time, once these pitchers and these managers see you a second time around, because you're going to play against these guys again. When you come back around, and then all of a sudden now you start getting into the funk where every player, all these pitchers and managers have seen you before, and all of a sudden now you're not batting as well. Yeah. Do you switch back and go, okay, I'm going to make corrections again, and now I'm going to be good? Or, well, it's not working for me. What am I supposed to do? Like that's the difference. That because Torque gets in his own head too easy. So when I see him get into a slump and then come out of it and play well, then I'll be like, okay, he can adjust. He knows what he's doing now. Now I could sign him to a contract. That would be the possibility.
I think also too the Tigers are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because they know that the lay of the land, they're not the favorites to land the big time players, and the owner apparently is not going to pay them either. So you really have to somewhat kind of trust your homegrown players, and unless they're just absolutely dog shit, you got to keep him because he's still young, and his prime hasn't even started yet. Like you're like I said, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because it's either that or you're gonna have to go to your farm and bring up a young bat. Again, you don't know what that person's gonna bring. Well, I think Torkelson,
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I think Torkelson has a pretty good sample size. Now I understand he's inconsistent, but the thing is he's still young, and if he has an average season, I'd be okay with that, because he's only 25. He's gonna get better.
Depends on what you classify. Depends on what you classify as an average season, though.
Well, I mean,
The average baseball, the average in baseball is 240 to 244, depending on the year. That's cool. I don't exactly know what the average home run total is, but your average OPS is 740, 740,
yeah.
750.
I mean, like if he hits around those numbers, let's say 30, let's say 20 home runs or 25 home runs. I don't know what the average
Yeah,
is, but
I mean,
that's you're not going to give him a massive contract, but that's worthy of a decent contract. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
so he has 3 arbitration years too.
What does that mean? I don't know.
So
what that
okay,
means.
so he gets paid $785,000 this year. That is his contract. That is. Then he's got 3 arbitration years, which means that he goes into 2026 and he says, "Look what I did last year or the year before." Like and then what they do is the Tigers don't want to pay him a certain amount of money. He wants a certain amount of money. It goes to an arbitrator. The guy goes, "I side with Torkelson," and then he'll get whatever he asks for, or they'll side with the Tigers and he has to go with what they have.
Yeah.
Or
I think if the Tigers got to be careful because you're playing with fire. You know, you're playing with fire with Torkelson. You're playing with fire with Skubal. Like, those are probably arguably your best 2 players right now on the roster. Like, you have got to start showing that you're rewarding the players that have stayed with your franchise through the ups and downs. You know,
we lost Nate.
Yeah. I don't think Torkelson is our best player.
No, he's not. I was going to tell him that. Like
Parker Meadows. Parker Meadows is a good player.
He is the most.
I think Riley is one of our best players.
What? We can hear you now, Nate. I think.
Now he's probably your best player.
Who is?
He's your best right now.
Who?
Torkelson.
No, he's not.
He's still not.
Torkelson.
He's still not. He's got the most potential. He's got the most potential. He's not your best player yet, though. He's got to prove it before you can't like on a a 10 game.
Skubal's your best player overall.
He's your best player, but the best offensive player is probably Kerry Carpenter on our team.
Yeah. Yep.
And that I won't say it's not even close, but I'll say him and Green's, and I would probably put Green above a Carpenter, but like for different reasons. I believe that Green could be an MVP candidate this year. He could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Riley's excellent. I like Riley.
I mean,
Yeah,
how is his numbers compared to Torkelson? I don't know. I mean,
he's more consistent though. Like I won't even put him in Green's category. He's not even. He's just more consistent. He's just way more consistent. I mean, you can't.
Isn't Carpenter? Is Carpenter an older player?
Who?
Carpenter. Isn't he an older player?
Yeah, he's a little bit older.
Okay.
Yeah. It's cool because we don't. The cool thing is a lot of our players are young, which is also not so cool because when you get in the playoffs, you need veteran guys that can get key hits through the playoffs. Yeah. So that's what we don't have. We don't have that guy, and those are the guys we complained about during the whole offseason.
I think what the Tigers have to do is they have to develop their young players to a point to where they're either really good or they're pretty good. And then if they decide at some point to go for a big bat and trade some of those young players to get a more proven player, I mean, then so be it.
They're not going to do that, though. They're just not.
I mean, y'all act like there's no hope and aspect of anything happening with that organization as far as that kind of move. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't have. So it's not that we don't have any hope. It's that Chris Ilitch is all about his system, his minor league system, and bringing guys up and that's what. Unless he's waiting until we get to the pinnacle when we're like, this is the year we're going to win the World Series, so then I'm going to put all my fish in one barrel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you have if you're developing your young players at a high level and they are becoming really, really good, but you're still not getting over the hump. That's where you have to decide, like, is this team going to get us to the big game, or is it needed that we need to take some of these young guys that we have and trade for a big bat? Because at some point you need to get a big bat. I mean,
you absolutely do.
like,
You're right. But that's the
can't
thing.
just
Like,
win with timely hitting all the time.
the thing is so far, and this is between both the Red Wings and so we have a lot of information that shows that Chris Ilitch does not want to spend. It would be different if this was like a 1 or 2 year, like we're like all of our guys, like every single guy that we have is like a rookie. Like we're very young, don't get me wrong, but our window is slowly starting to open. And the problem is you've got to pay, you're going to have to pay Kerry Carpenter eventually. You're going to have to pay Torkelson eventually. You're going to have to eventually pay Parker Meadows if he's really good. You're going to have to pay. And then on top of all that, you got to pay Skubal, who's got the richest freaking
well, you definitely have to pay Skubal. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Skubal still has. We still have 2 more years of control with Skubal, so which is kind of cool. But that's the thing, though. It's like I'm telling you, like Skubal's going to be going for like 35, 40 million a year.
100%, yeah. But
and so, but this is the guy that between both the Red Wings and the Tigers, if you combined their salary cap, still don't get us even on the baseball side inside of the top 10. That's the issue. That is the issue.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I understand.
In commonplace knowledge, though, I mean, it's kind of like Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes ain't going to make that home run hit for Hendrickson because it's not physical. He doesn't think it's financially responsible, and if that's something that gets the Lions to a close, closer to the World Series. I mean, the World Series, the Super Bowl. Then I mean, it's the same. Those two general managers kind of act the same way. They're kind of cheap in a way, and you would think that would be preventing their teams from doing anything. But you got to understand, too, the Tigers really ain't playing with their full lineup. They just lost 2 people to injury that were on the lineup, and they're trying to get 2 people back. So you haven't played with or 3 people back because you just mentioned another one that was injured. And you get all those players, but we don't know what this lineup's going to look like when everybody's on it.
Yeah.
It could be a great lineup.
Yep. Or they might hinder each other. That's the problem. Like he said, I mean, we have all these people that always say, well, we don't want to block any players. That's why we're not taking any veterans. We're not picking up any huge veterans because we don't want to block any of these players. Well, you sign all these AARP members and they're blocking the same players. And some of them are getting injured and they're getting blocked. We sent 2 guys down and they're doing great in the minors. They're being blocked. So you're blocked because you're not trading away prospects to get better veterans. Now you're at the point where your rookies and your young players are blocking your other rookies and young players. So you're all of a sudden you're ending up with a log jam at your major league level team because you're not getting the veteran players. Sometimes you're going to have a ton of good guys, and you're going to have to make a decision who you're going to trade off, or because otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to be gone in free agency, and now you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a good problem for the Tigers to have. It just got a cheap owner. That's all there is to that. But I mean, the Tigers, like I said, I don't know what the potential of this starting lineup is going to be once we get everybody back and healthy and playing. Probably won't see that till like maybe May, June. End of May, beginning of June. Yeah. So I mean, the potential is great for this lineup, and the way they're playing right now without half of them players. Yeah, I mean, they're doing well.
And I'll be the first one to admit, I'll hold my real judgment to like I said, 30 games into the season. But I'll be the first to admit that I had said at the end of last year in a few shows that we've done this year is that I said that you cannot count on. We had like 9 rookies starting last year for both the run and during the playoffs. You can't expect all 9 rookies to be doing really well because it just doesn't work like that. the laws of averages will show that like some of the guys are just not going to do that well and they're going to get sent to the minors, and then the other guys some other guy will flourish, or they'll go up and down. Well, right now that's not, other than Colt Keith kind of like having a soggy start. He's he's like second or third in the league in walks, so he really hasn't had that bad. He's just not hitting the ball well, but his eye is like freaking outstanding. I think he's got 14 walks on the season already. The dude is great with his eye. So that's what's keeping him, in the lineup. But once these guys come back, I mean, it's going to be a juggle. Who's going to get all the playing time? Who knows? It's going to be rough.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be
It is a good problem to have, but at the same time, you got to hope that your chemistry doesn't fade because you're trying to get people starts. Like, it's just like in hockey when you do lineups. You can't switch your lineups every game. You've got to keep them the same so they build chemistry. And it's the same thing in baseball. It's the same thing. You want guys to gel together, so. Yeah.
What you got going on your end there, Robbie? While you're sitting there looking discerned.
What's up?
I said,
Nate
what you got going over there? See, look at you. You're all off the whole thing. What you
No,
got
I was watching the Pirate game.
Yeah, it's 0-0 at the top of the 10th now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes,
So,
it's good. The offense ain't being offense.
Right. It's being offensive.
I thought the Yankees were going to score in that last inning because they had one out with men on second and third, and they didn't score. So
you talking about the Pirates?
No, you're talking about the Tigers.
Oh yeah, the Tigers. Yeah, they had. Yeah, he had walked. That's why Flattery got taken up out of there, and Holton came in there and pitched and got him out of that jam because they were second and third because he walked Judge and some other dude. I can't remember the other guy's name, and then Chris Colm. I mean, he got rid of Chris Colm. So I mean, he did a good job. Holton, they came in there and saved the day.
That's the idea.
But they didn't save it too much.
Flattery still pitched a great game. 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. They're in extra innings.
Yep.
Going in the extra innings. This is wonderful.
Heck yeah.
It looks like the Yankees got 2 runs.
It's like we're the Steelers of the base. It's like they're the Steelers of baseball.
Yeah. Ben Rice just homered to center field.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When you do a 3-game series, that third game is always so. If you take the first 2 games of the series, it doesn't matter, or you lose the first 2 games. That third game is so tough to win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm on the end of the losing, like I've lost 2, that third game, I literally have I would always bet against the team that did worse in that series on that third game because they have a chance. They usually they put a lot of effort into winning the third game just so they can get out of there with a win.
Yeah, we got that Day. What's up, man? How you doing, man? You and Bandit. I saw both of you chiming in down here. Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all.
How's it going, Day?
Yeah,
I hate the Yankees.
Yeah, I hate the Yankees too. I was kind of amazed because when they played Chicago, and really, I don't mind losing a game to the Yankees, even though I hate the Yankees, but I really hate Chicago. And when they were losing to Chicago in the 9th, I was like, damn it, you better beat Chicago.
You know what team I hate the most in baseball? The Red Sox.
Oh, damn. You hate Nate's team.
Yeah, well,
I hate all Boston teams. Like when the Red Sox and Yankees play, I root for the Yankees, and I hate the Yankees.
I think Nate might have heard you on that one. Who knows? But anyway,
that's cool. I didn't think it was. Well, I don't think it was supposed to be a secret, Brian.
I know. Yeah, I don't think he really. I don't think he heard you say that this time.
What? I hate
going to say something.
I hate the Red Sox.
I hate you
sure
too.
You heard that.
I hate you too.
I hate the Red Sox.
Why you gotta hate Robbie because he hates the Red Sox? You hate the Pirates.
No offense. I was hated. I always hated them. I hated them before I met Nate.
He hates everything that breathes.
I hate Boston. I hate all Boston teams, man.
Braves the best team in baseball.
Well, I want to say.
Okay, Day.
No. Let's go to that record. Let's go to that Atlanta Braves record right now. Let's see. What's that Atlanta Braves record, by the way? Oh, yeah, they're at the bottom, 2-8. Thank you, Day.
I want to say one. I want to say one. I want to say one thing
sarcastic.
about the Tigers.
I know.
What's that? What you guys say?
Okay, so the Tigers have to be careful because the reality is if they become a team that develops good young talent and then lets it go somewhere else, they're going to become the Pirates.
Yeah, absolutely. That I 100% agree with that because we have one of the best farm systems in the league right now.
Yes.
And we've got a lot of young talent. The problem is they're being blocked by a lot of young talent. So you can only pay so many players. Sure. They're going to leave. So you either, like you said earlier, trade for a bat, or you're going to lose them.
Or determine who your pillars are that you want to build your franchise around, and then get rid of the other guys and trust your farm system to bring up some guys to fill those positions.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Lions are doing. The Lions are doing exactly that. They're building their pillars.
Yep.
And then they're deciding who's going to be their guys going forward. And if you're not a guy going forward, then they're going to replace you with a draft pick.
Yeah.
That's
We'll see what happens because there's too many injured players and too many like guys that are not expected to be on the team even like next year. So you gotta figure out like what you've got in players. Like I said, Parker Meadows and Wenzel Perez are really good players, but how do they play this year? We don't know because we haven't even seen them yet. So
I think those guys, it's a wait and see approach with those guys. You know, you gotta see how this season pans out and where the Tigers finish. And honestly, the thing is too is how bad the Tigers have been. I don't blame him for having, buyer's remorse, like to want to buy big time players or pay big time players, because they've been so bad for a long time that they're like, hey, we're not gonna mortgage the franchise and miss on a player. Scooble's probably the only player I don't think you'll miss with. Scooble has shown the ability that he is the guy.
I think when he's up for a contract, they are going to drag it out. They are going to drag it all the way out.
As long as Chris Ilitch is there, yes, they will.
They will drag that out. If I'm Ilitch, I just go over because there's no salary cap in baseball. I just like, listen, the highest paid player is X. I'm doing X plus $5 million a year for X number of years. End of story. And then
hey, the man.
Yeah, just get it done. The problem is that his age is going to be a little different. It's going to have to be like an 8-year deal or something like that. It can't be much more than that. And he may be asking for a 10-year deal, and that might be the issue. Time, but
pay his ass.
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of seeing players go from this organization. In the last 5 to 6 years, it's getting ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
That's like I said, when his father was there, he had no problems with this issue. Red Wings or Tigers, he'd pay people. And he'd be cautious about paying people, but he would pay people that are playing to their heights. Yep. And as soon as he passed away and Chris took over, dude.
Yeah, it's been rough. But, I'm excited about the future. I'm just cautiously optimistic about whether our owner is willing to do the right thing for the players that have played for him. That's the deal. I'm hoping he takes he has a conversation with Brad Holmes and Sheila from the Lions and sit down and say, listen, because you gotta pay players to make money. You will get crowds in Tiger Stadium, but nobody's going to go there if we're not doing anything. You have to pay first, and then you get the benefits later. You don't get the benefits.
Not only that, but but you got to set the right example of that. You reward your players.
Yeah, we got a couple of seconds left here. Thank you, Nate, for that last comment there, and thank you again, Chris. Peoples, for being on here for our baseball Wednesday. And Matt Yenser, yeah, I know you were a little bit out of the loop there, buddy. We're going to try to get you back in there. We know, Pirates aren't. I can't really get the Pirates involved too much. I hope they win this game.
Don't be the Pirates.
Whatever.
That's all you need to do. Don't be the Pirates.
So y'all, everybody have a great day. We will see you
like
tomorrow.
the Red Sox are any better.
So, tomorrow is NHL Thursday with Jim, the hockey guy. And so we'll see you tomorrow.
I need to talk to Jim.
Right. Have a good one, everybody.